Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board, and we are convening a session of the Tax Review Board, and today's category is license and inspection. With me today is our board chair for the day, John O'Connor. He's right here with me. And but on the Zoom is our other board members, Paula Weiss and Nancy Cameradiner. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted to the Tax Review Board's website. In addition, I don't think I said the date and the time. Today is March 6th. It is approximately 2:10 and we are convening. John, you want to take it away?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John O'Connor, sitting in today for our esteemed chairwoman, Paula Weiss.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Today is March the 6th. The Tax Review Board is now in session. We have some housekeeping matters to take care of, beginning with case number 1, the last 4 digits, N9PR, Intech Construction. That case has been continued. We have case number 2.
If I can ask, Chairman, case number 1, was that continued to an L&I list or a tax list?
Interesting.
So I actually spoke to the law department's tax unit about this case. It involves the development impact tax, but I think it was put on the L&I list because it arose from a building permit application.
Yes, it should be. Yeah, so we're going to continue it in both on today's docket for us to remove it from the docket, from the L&I docket. It's supposed to be filed as a business activity.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Probably mark this as an administrative closure. I apologize. Thanks for that, Mr.
Oh, no, as long as it ends up on the tax list so that the tax attorneys can handle it.
Yeah, it will.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cohen. Moving to case number 3, last 4 digits, HQPL. That case has also been continued. Moving down to case number 6, last 4 digits. Looks like J208. That case has been continued. And then last case would be case number 8. The last 4 digits, excuse me, 6404. Again, that case was continued. And I believe we have one case, number 4. The last 4 digits, 6527. That case has been withdrawn.
All right. So it looks like we'll be going to case number 7.
And that case number 7 is 8563. The address of the property is 1102 South 52nd Street.
Yeah. I do want to note, when this case was originally processed, it was processed under the petitioner's address. There was an error in the completing of the petition, but we noticed our mistake, and so and we will update our petition to reflect and amend the petition to reflect that the address in question is 1102 South 52nd Street.
Currently, it's listed as 7304 Sanderling Place, Philadelphia.
Thank
you. Mr. Harris, is this his case?
Yes, it is Mr. Harris's case. Mr. Harris, can you unmute yourself and your camera?
All right. Who has the case for the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Jim Kelly on behalf of the city.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Kelly. Who's going to be testifying today on behalf of the city?
It will be Supervisor Rybakowski. My understanding is that he was at the Board of Building Standards and expected to be about 10 to 15 minutes late to these hearings. I'm not seeing him in here now, though.
No, I don't see him in here either.
Just for the record, I actually just texted Mr. Rybakowski because I know he's in the Board of Building Standards. He hasn't yet gotten back to me, but he said that they were running late. I think, as Jim just said.
Okay. Well, perhaps we get the petitioner's information and swear him in?
Yes. Yes, sir. Again, I'm John O'Connor. Would you please state your name for the record?
Mr. Harris, is your petitioner here?
Yes, Desi Wubaye.
Yes, Mr. Wabai, we just state your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Desi Wubaye.
I live 7304 Sanderley Place, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19153.
All right, thank you, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth and nothing but the truth regarding this matter?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Harris, do you have anything to say before I go to the city for their opening?
No, I don't have anything to say. Just
Um,
Okay,
can I say something?
Just 1 second, sir. We just want to make sure that we have the numbers for the record.
Okay.
these are cases number 2.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, just number 7. Going back to number 7. Yeah, the number 7, the last 4 digits are 8563.
Mr. Kelly, would it be okay if we just at least put the numbers on the record? And if there was any legal arguments you wanted to make, maybe we could start with those.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So is Ms. Mitchell going to testify to the numbers?
She can, sure, yeah.
Okay,
Ms. Mitchell, good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Would you please state your name and position with the city, please?
Yes, my name is Lashika Mitchell. I am a code administrator with the Litigation Support Unit.
All right, and do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give today will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, the address is 1102 South 52nd Street. The bill is a CSU stucco bill. Bill date 6/20/2023. Bill number 2023-005454. The principal amount is $49,592. Admin charge is $10,414.32. The interest is $2,100.21 for a total of $62,106.53.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Kelly?
Sure. So I do have a few things here. I want to first just clarify, the only bill that's being appealed today is the stucco bill. The demolition bill that was issued here was not appealed, is not challenged, is not before the board today. I will, just to clarify, go through a little bit of the demolition just to provide some context once Supervisor Rybakowski is here. But the only thing at issue for the board today is the stucco work.
Are the numbers, I'm sorry, are the numbers that Ms. Mitchell read into the record, does that include this, is that all stucco? or
That's
is
just
that-
stucco. That's just the
That's
stucco
just
bill.
the stucco, okay. Thank you
Correct.
for that clarification.
Correct. There's a separate bill for
the
the demolition itself.
Thank you.
I also do want to raise a non-pro-tunc issue here. This was a late appeal. The bill that is before the board, the stucco bill, was issued June 20th, 2023 to the petitioner's address at 7304 Sanderling Place, which is both the address registered with the Office of Property Assessment, as well as the address that petitioner put on their appeal for today's hearing. It sets a 60-day appeal deadline as August 19th, 2023. This bill was not appealed until the end of September, some 41 days later. Additionally, petitioner only included in their paperwork that they did not receive the bill in time to appeal it. There's no, so if non-pro-tunc relief is granted, there's no substantive challenge to the bill itself remaining within petitioner's appeal here. Until I do see Supervisor Rybakowski now.
Mr. Harris, do you have anything to say?
yes, with regards to the non-pro-tunc, it's our position that our client could not, Mr. Wubaye could not file an appeal until he got the bill. And once he got the appeal, well, I would have him testify as to that if necessary. But once he got the appeal, then he took steps immediately in order to file the appeal. So although the petition was filed untimely, this was filed as soon as he had the opportunity, as soon as he received the bill. So we would submit that there was a breakdown in him, the mechanism of which he received it, there was a breakdown in him receiving the bill in a timely basis for him to file the appeal timely.
Mr. Harris, when does he say he got the bill? Or maybe he can testify as to what bill he finally received.
Yeah, so I can, hold on for a second. Hold on. Just bear with me. So if I were to call, do you need me to call Mr. I mean, I could say what it is, but I mean, if you want him to testify.
He's here, so he should just
Yes.
explain when he got it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, why don't you call him and you can question him.
Okay, hold on for a second, please. All right. Would I have the ability to share my screen?
Yes, you do.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wubaye. Mr. Wubaye,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to show you. Sorry. Just trying to get to the screen. Now, do you remember, Mr. Wubaye, do you remember hiring me to file this appeal, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you came to hire me in what did you come to hire me in September of 2023?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you hire me?
Because I got this bill.
Say that again.
As soon I got the bills, that's the time I call you to hire you because it wasn't by myself to handle the situation, and it was really I never expected that much bill to send me.
So how soon? So this appeal was filed on September 29th of 2023. I know we're talking about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
But how soon after you received the bill did you come in and engage my services?
As soon I got it. As soon I got it, I called Bar Association, and then they gave me your number. I call your office. That's the time I hired.
Okay, and how long? Just so the board can have an appreciation for the time. I know you said as soon as you got it, you called the board, and then you came in.
Yes.
How much time between the time when you received the bill and the time when you hired me? How much time had gone by?
It could be 2, 3 days when I have the bid. That's the time I call the bar association, and then they recommend me. I call immediately to your office.
All right, can I
Okay.
interrupt a second, Mr. Harris? Do you have the bill though, with the bill date?
I do have let's see here.
And Mr. Kelly, do you know, you've given us June 20th, 2023.
That's the date on the top right of the invoice here. I have
I don't-
I have the
I-
same version of it.
Filed in September of
Right.
23.
Now, I don't know when the bill was mailed out. It doesn't say when it was mailed out. It just says an invoice date.
And what is the date you're looking at? We obviously can't see it.
Oh, you can't see the screen? June 20th of 20. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, okay, so June 20, so we're talking about the same bill.
Right.
Okay, so we're talking about the same bill.
Correct. So, and I filed this petition on 9/29, and we have testimony that says that, you know, a few days, as soon as he got it, he came in and saw me a few days after he got it. And then I immediately filed it once I saw that it was that the bill, that appeal needed to be filed. So that is what Mr. Wubaye's testimony is as to that. Again, we don't have a date as to when this was mailed, but
Okay,
You
he
have
received
anything
it.
else
He
for
received
Mr.
it. He
Wolbaye?
moved immediately. He moved immediately. He called me, and then I immediately filed it once I got the bill.
all right.
Do you have anything further for Mr. Wolbaye right now?
No, I don't have anything on that
Got it.
issue because I believe that that's the first issue that the city has raised.
Right, okay. Mr. Kelly, do you have any questions?
Just briefly, Mr. Wubaye, do you live at 7304 Sanderling Place?
Yes,
How long have you lived there for?
since 2005.
Okay, and do you receive mail there? That's your mailing address?
Sometimes it's messed up. In fact, I lost good materials. One time I called post office a number of times. And then some neighbor, I was looking for the neighbors. They send it to different places. I found that material from other places. So it's mixed stuff. A lot of even the neighbor complain. Mostly they send it to some place, different places. We always complain to the post office.
That's all I have for Mr. Wubaye. I'm happy to call Supervisor Rybakowski to testify to the bill itself.
Just
I
to the
don't-
non-pro-tunc issue or to the bill or to,
Sorry, I should clarify. Just as to how the bill is generated and when they're sent out.
okay, you know what, I think we probably are familiar enough
Fair enough.
with that. Okay. Do we want to note that for the record and for the moment, move on to allow Mr. Harris to put on whatever other information he wants to put on about the bill?
Yes.
Agreed.
All right, Mr. Harris, this is your appeal, so what would you like to tell us?
So the issue is that, and I'm looking at the city's, hold on. Looking at the city's exhibit packet, but it appears, that this bill,
Mr. Harris, you could stop sharing your screen because now we can see your emails and stuff and I don't want that.
okay, yeah, I don't want, hold on. I just want to pull up the bill.
No, I understand.
So hold on. I'm just going through the packet. Hold on. So I'm looking at the bill, and it looks like the bill is, it looks like it is for not only stucco, but it looks like it is for the stucco and the demolition. It doesn't look like this is just explicitly for the stucco. So if I look at,
Well, what are you challenging, Mr. Harris?
I'm challenging the amount of the stucco bill of 49,000. Like I'm looking at C11 and I'm seeing invoice for demolition right here. But, and then it looks like, and then I'm looking at C8, notice to proceed, and I'm seeing with that also it looks like demolition, but they're saying that this is the stucco. They're saying that this is the stucco bill, but it doesn't appear that this is a stucco. It looks like this is a combination of the demolition and it mentions about a stucco. That's the issue that we have with this. It looks like this is a double, especially if they're saying that there's another bill out there that's been charged for demolition, that it would appear to be a double dip, because this bill appears to be for demolition.
I'd like to interject. This is Nancy Kammerdinger, one of the board members. And I have some notes here where I indicated that the city demolished the structure. The costs incurred in stuccoing is the issue here. Petitioner did not take any actions for initial demo or for the city bill for demolition permit. Then the city billed the petitioner for the cost of stuccoing. My notes basically identified that there were two different things happening, that the one that was before us was only for the stuccoing. I may be the only one who read it that way,
No,
but that is how I read the notes.
I think that's what it is. So I'm not quite sure. Are you challenging the amount of money that Mr. Kelly had read into the record, or Ms. Mitchell read into the record? I'm not sure what you're challenging.
So what I'm challenging is the amount of that, because I don't believe that that was the amount of the stucco.
Okay, so Mr. Kelly, do you have a demolition bill separate and apart from the stucco bill? So we can-
Absolutely. May I share my screen?
Please do.
Thank you. Can you just let me know when you're able to see it?
We're in the share mode, but we're not sharing it yet.
Okay, it says it's still loading.
Okay.
There it
You're
goes.
sharing. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Kelly.
So I did break this out into several different sections here. Relevantly, the first section that I have is sort of the middle section about the demolition. The second section is about the stucco work itself. So I can take you to City's Exhibit C13 on page 36 of the exhibit packet. This is the bill W0 2023 WO 2023 002416. This is for the demolition work that was issued to petitioner. Scroll down. This right here, the total is $51,088.62. I do have on a separate screen, there's some interest that has accrued on that, so it's a little bit higher at this point. This bill clearly states that it was for the city demo work that was completed at the property on April 11th of 2023 for $51,088.62. inclusive of the $42,222. That was the amount in the bid. I can also show, should be right here, as Mr. Harris was explaining, City Exhibit C11 on page 34 includes the $42,222 bill from Pedro Palmer Construction Incorporated. That was the lowest bid that was received for the demolition of the property. And that was the cost that was incurred by the city.
So I'm going to stop you. Can you
Yep.
show us the corresponding information that would be only related to stucco?
Absolutely. So this is on page 38 of the city's exhibit packet in C14. There's two separate invoices here. This is the first one from Verdi Contracting Inc. for 1100 South 52nd Street, that party wall, for $29,547.20. On the next page, City Exhibit C15. This is the stucco invoice for the other side, the other wall, 1104 South 52nd Street for $20,044.80. I have here also two photographs, if that's relevant. And here's the bill for the stucco, a clearly separate amount, billed separately under a different invoice number, WO 2023-005454. for $49,592 in labor, materials, and equipment. That's those two invoices put together, as well as the administrative fee of $10,414.32 for a total of $60,006.32, which again, as Ms. Mitchell had written into the record, has gone up by a couple of thousand due to interest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Kelly. Mr. Harris, any questions?
Yeah, so that's still 42. Hold on. Can you go back to your C8?
C8, you said?
Yes, C8.
Sure. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Right. So it has right here demolishing of it, demolition of it, and then it has remove the property, and then at the end of it, it has stucco to be completed by it. So this appear, and it's for the 42.
Mr. Kelly, can you just make this a little bit bigger?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is that
That-
better?
That's too big.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's a little too big.
This good?
There it is.
Okay.
It does say stucco to be completed by a third-party contractor.
Right, and it has 42,200, but it has also remove, and then it has demolition in accordance with the following. So I don't know, this doesn't make sense. It looks like this is a combination of the demolition and the stucco.
But we have two bills from Verdi Contracting adding up to 49,000 plus for the stucco, for the two walls.
A whole nother contractor?
Mm-hmm.
There was one
don't know.
contractor,
I-
Pedro Palmer Contracting was hired to do the demolition itself, and then Verdi Contracting was hired to do the stucco work. It's just saying that
But can we look at the demolition bill again, please? The demolition, I mean, because this says $42,222.
the demolition bill, you said?
Yes, which you referred to.
Sure, that's right here.
Okay, and then can we go to the stucco bill? And who did do you have the permit for the stucco?
The permit, no, I just have I have the invoice if you want to see those again.
No, but I just wanted to know if you had the permit for either the stucco or the, do you have the permit for the stucco or the demolition? I wanted to see, I just would like to see what was listed on the permit amount, not just the invoices. What was listed on the permit amount?
No, I don't have the permits included as part of my exhibits. Again, the demolition bill was not at issue for today. So
But you do not have a copy of the permit
So,
because,
Mr. Harris,
I mean,
city's position is there are two separate bills. There was a contractor for the stucco, a contractor for the demolition. If you are contending that that did not occur that way, we need you to tell us why you think that. Mr. Kelly
well, we
gonna
think,
put on your, for you
I,
right here in front of us.
what I think is based on the exhibits that there is some confusion as to what the amount was that was actually charged for the stucco. What was actually, we don't have the permit of that. We don't have a permit of what was actually, all that we have is just the invoice of this. And then if I look at the,
Well, Mr. Kelly, is that permit public record? Could Mr. Harris go out and look at that?
sure. So the demolition permit, it's all encompassing. There's no separate there's no such thing as a stucco permit. But yes, it's available through the Atlas site.
Thank you.
I don't see that, not with the amount, it's my understanding that it's not accessible with seeing what the amount is. You can see who the contractor is who pulled it, but you cannot see the actual permit itself. The city L&I has that information.
I mean, had I been asked prior to right now, I potentially could have tried and pulled that up for you, but here we are. This is what I have for I have the invoices here showing the same amounts for each bill.
Our issue is that because there appears to be confusion as to what the amount is that was actually, I see an invoice. But then if we look at what I pointed out to C8, it looks like there was a combination of the stucco as well as the demolition in that. I think that there's an issue with the amount here that was actually charged for the stucco.
This is Nancy Kammerdiner again. Excuse me. I think when we were talking about this earlier and when the board members were discussing it, we were very clear in saying that the city bill for the demolition permit was separate and apart from the city billing for the cost of not the city billing, but the bill that went to the petitioner was for the cost of stuccoing. We had a clear distinction between what was done for the stuccoing and what was being done for the initial demolition.
Do we have a copy
I
of the
don't see
check?
why you're confused, because we had less time to look at it and we had a very clear picture.
Do we have a check of what was actually paid to the demolition contractor?
You know, Mr. Harris,
I mean, not the demolition, I'm sorry, the stucco contractor. I'm sorry, the stucco contractor.
That's the previous exhibits that I had shared.
Right, what was actually, right, like, do
14
we
and
have?
15? Sure. If you
No,
want
I'm
to
not talking, right, I'm not talking about the invoice. I'm talking about what was actually paid. What was actually paid from the city to this particular contractor for the stucco.
I'm not 100% sure, like, this is the invoice, this is the amount that was paid. Is there something that I'm missing here?
I guess I wanted to see a check of what was actually paid.
Are you
to-
asking for proof that that a payment was made to a contractor?
For that amount.
Well, I don't know that Mr. Kelly has that with him.
I don't have that, certainly not.
Would there be,
We don't usually get that.
I mean, Mr. Harris, these are all questions you should have come prepared with to ask before. Like, I feel like we're doing all of this exploration in the middle of a hearing that maybe should have gotten asked ahead of time here. You're not telling us, okay, so really your position is you don't believe there are two bills. Is that
correct,
are?
correct. I believe that there are one in the same.
And that's based on the wording of the demolition bill? Or
Wording of the demolition bill, there should be something from the city evidencing that they paid that, not just invoices, but something evidencing that they actually paid specifically for this stucco and the amount that was paid.
All right, so that's all you have. That's your position.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Do
Mr.
you have anything else, Mr. Harris? You'd like to
No.
go on here? All right, thank you.
I guess that leaves. me
Sorry,
with
may I
you.
stop sharing my screen?
Sure.
Yes, please.
I mean, I don't know what the board feels like. Do we want to talk or do we want to?
Well, does Mr. Kelly have anything else he wants to put on?
Yes.
Not in terms of an opening. I mean, if the
I think
board-
that's it. You have if you want to place your case specifically about the stucco and whatever information you have to establish that in fact the stucco work was performed, and I think you've already given us who the contractor was, what the invoice was. I don't know if there's I know Mr. Dabowski is here. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add.
Sure. I mean, if you want the full case, I can certainly do it, but if this is sufficient, then that's more than fine with me.
I think perhaps maybe just an indication that the work was done. Any photographs that you have that can show that?
Sure, I can have Supervisor Rabakowski testify to that, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right.
Hold on.
Do you need to be sworn in?
Yes, Mr. Rabakowski, good afternoon. Would you please state your name and position with the city?
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections, Construction Compliance Supervisor.
Sir, do you swear or affirm that you'll tell the truth today regarding this matter before the Tax Review Board?
Yes,
Thank you very much. All right. Mr. Kelly?
Excuse me. Supervisor Rabakowski, where are you currently employed?
City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections.
And what are your primary duties and responsibilities there?
I supervise the inspection staff for the Department of License and Inspections, specifically contractual services or emergency response unit.
So you would handle unsafe or imminently dangerous properties?
Yes,
Okay. In the course of your duties, did you become familiar with the property at 1102 South 52nd Street?
yes,
Have you also had the opportunity to review the L&I case file for that property?
yes,
And are those records made and kept in the regular course of business?
yes,
And are those records that you yourself have personal access to?
yes.
Okay. I would just ask to reshare my screen. Is that visible for everyone?
Yes,
Okay. Is it readable for everyone?
a little bit bigger would be helpful, Mr. Kelly.
A little more? Okay. Is that good?
Yes, that's much better.
Great. Okay. Just to clarify. Sorry about this. Supervisor Rabakowski, can you, do you see the document that's on the screen right now?
Yes,
Can you explain what this is?
it's a violation notice in order to correct, declaring the property at 1102 South 52nd Street as eminently dangerous.
Does this document also contain appeal language?
It does,
As far as you know, did the petitioner appeal this notice?
not that I'm aware of.
As a result of that, did the city then later proceed with a emergency demolition of this property due to those conditions?
Yes,
And just briefly, what were the conditions here?
rear bay collapsing, brick at rear wall, rear of property falling.
Gonna skip ahead then. And just, sorry, this was City's Exhibit C4 on page 22 of the exhibit packet. I'm gonna skip all the way down. You said that a demolition did occur here, is that correct?
Yes, the city did place this property out to bid for demolition.
Okay, and concurrent with that demolition, did stucco work occur as well?
Yes,
And to your knowledge, is that what's under appeal today?
correct.
Okay. I'm gonna take you down to Exhibit C14. What is this document that we're looking at?
That is a invoice that was received by the department for Verde Contracting, who is the stucco contractor.
And this is a separate person, separate company from the company that did the demolition in this case.
Correct.
How much was this bill for?
This bill was for a total of $29,547.20.
And was this bill paid by the city to the contractor?
I know that there was an invoice sent. Our fiscal department and procurement are the ones that pay the contracting invoices.
Great. Exhibit C15, the invoice here. Can you, how much is the amount here?
This is another invoice that we received in association with the demolition of the property at 1102 South 52nd Street. This was for the work that was done at the party wall for 1104. And that invoice was for $20,044.80.
This is for the other side of the building?
This is for the other side. Yes, the common wall that we shared with 1104.
Okay. On the next page, page 40, City's Exhibit C16. What is this a photograph of?
This is the final photograph taken by the area inspector illustrating that the demolition was complete and the stucco was applied to both party walls.
Okay. And I actually, is that the same, the other party wall for 1104 on the other side there? I don't know if you can see my mouse. On page 41, C17, is that the other wall?
Yes.
Is that, do both of these show stucco work that has been completed?
Yes.
Okay, so this is when everything is done.
That is the final uploaded photograph of the demolition being completed, authorizing the payout to the contractor.
Okay. And on the next page, City's Exhibit C18, is this, what is this?
This is an invoice or a invoice for a work order for the property. This is for the stucco work in association with the demolition. And the total was $60,006.32, illustrating the labor and the administrative charge.
And that, just to be clear, that 49,592 total, that's the two separate invoices put together?
Yes.
Okay. That's all that I have, I would offer for cross.
Sure. Sir, Mr. Robakowski, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Mr. Harris?
Okay, good to see you. The procurement department, is that the department that makes the payments, to your knowledge, to the city? I'm sorry, to contractors?
I believe it's our fiscal unit, but I don't know who actually cuts the check to the contractor.
Okay. So it's the fiscal unit. So invoices, to your knowledge, are submitted to them and then payment is made. Would you be aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
So you said that the bill was $49,000 for the stucco, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if we look at C9, and what's the amount that's said right here?
That is $42,222.
And isn't it true that this purchase order, it talks about removing the party wall and stuccoing to be completed by a third-party contractor?
It does.
Okay. There's no evidence of any other. Have you looked at the exhibits from the city? Have you looked at the exhibits packet?
Yes.
Okay. There's no evidence of another purchase order, anything from the procurement department that specifically has a purchase order for 49,000 for stucco. Is there?
There is a purchase order from the procurement department authorizing the demolition of this property. And then there is a note that the stucco is being handled by a third-party contractor who will send in an invoice for that work.
Right. But my question is, there is no purchase order from the procurement department that has that $49,000 specifically for stucco in this exhibit packet, is there?
I would not in this packet, no.
Okay. All right. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Mr. Kelly, anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. I would just ask to move the city's exhibits into evidence.
All right, so moved.
I'm sorry, I know.
Are we gonna step aside?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna step
Unless-
aside now, everyone.
Yeah, unless
Say
the
it,
parties
please.
have anything else
Yeah,
they
is
want to
there
say
any-
before we closing our
No.
meeting?
No.
Mr. Harris?
No.
Mr. Harris said no.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kelly, you're done?
No, I mean, we're just requesting that the board sustain this bill today. I think the testimony was clear that there was two separate bills issued here. The stucco amount was the 49, I forget exactly what it was. Issued to Mr. Wubea. So we're requesting that the board sustain this bill.
And our position is that if there were is our position that invoices alone are not enough. We have to have evidence that payment was actually made. The only thing that we have for sure that we know was paid was that C9 from the procurement department. And there is, at best, you can see that it's a combination. You can see that it has the demolition as well as the stucco in that, and it has only $42,222. There's no evidence of payment from the city, other than, we're not talking about invoices. There's no evidence of payment of $49,000 that was made by the city for stucco. It's not in a packet. It's not here.
Can I?
All right, thank you.
All right, if everybody just stays put, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, again.
Oh, hold on. I don't.
We
see
have,
Paula.
I
don't
think
see
we have,
Paula back in the room,
oh, okay.
or. let me see, give me 1 second. Okay, everyone is back.
The board has decided to deny this petition as the petitioner didn't meet his burden of proof to establish that this was a duplicate bill. However, we are going to abate the interest penalty, the current penalty, whatever it is, and at this point, each side would have 30 days to file an appeal to the Court of Common Pleas, receiving notification within 2 weeks for our decision. And again, we're denying the petition and abating the interest, which I believe was listed as $2,102, but we'll see what it is. Fine.
Paula Weiss, I concur with the decision.
Nancy Camerdiner, I concur.
John O'Connor, I also concur. All right, I think we're ready to move on to our next case. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, now we have cases number 2, ending the four digits RZDW, and number 5 ending in TZOK. And this is 1113 Mount Vernon. And I think
At this time,
Ms. Andre indicated that there is no one here in the room or on the
virtual waiting room.
the virtual waiting room.
Yes. Additionally, I believe this is the first listing, but I can confirm. Yes, this is the first listing for this petition.
Well, good afternoon, members of the board. Jeffrey Cohen for the city in this matter. Just to put it on the record, I did email the city's exhibits packet and position statement to this board and to the petitioner on Tuesday morning. I didn't receive any response.
Denied for failure to appear?
The city would respectfully request that, denied for failure to appear.
All right, do I have concurrence from the board?
Paula Weiss, I concur.
Nancy Camerdiner, excuse me, I concur.
John O'Connor, I also concur.
And with that being the last matter on our docket today, I believe our board session is complete today. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you all. See you next week.
Everyone,
Everyone have a
Have a
good
good
one.
week, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Melissa, can you take a second after?
Sure.